The Crucible, Act 4, continued. Proctor: No, I did not. Danforth, his eyes narrow on Proctor: Did you ever see Martha Corey with the devil? I did not. Danforth, realizing slowly, putting the sheet down: Did you ever see anyone with the devil? I did not. Proctor: You mistake me. I am not empowered to trade your life for a lie. You have most certainly seen some person with the devil. Proctor is silent. Mr. Proctor, a score of people have already testified they saw this woman with the devil. Then it is proved. Why must I say it? Why must you say it? Why, you should rejoice to say it if your soul is truly purged of any love for hell. They think to go like saints. I like not to spoil their names. Danforth, inquiring, incredulous: Mr. Proctor, do you think they go like saints? This woman never thought she'd done the devil's work. Look you, sir, I think you mistake your duty here. It matters nothing what she thought. She is convicted of the unnatural murder of children, and you for sending your spirit out upon Mary Warren. Your soul alone is the issue here, mister, and you will prove it whiteness or you cannot live in a Christian country. Will you tell me now what persons conspired with you in the devil's company? Proctor is silent. To your knowledge, was Rebecca Nurse ever... I speak my own sins. I cannot judge another. Crying out with hatred: I have no tongue for it. Hale, quickly to Danforth: Excellency, it is enough he confess himself. Let him sign it. Let him sign it. It is a great service, sir. It is a weighty name. It will strike the village that Proctor confessed. I beg you, let him sign it. The sun is up, Excellency. Danforth considers. Then, with dissatisfaction: Come, then, sign your testimony. Give it to him. Cheever goes to Proctor, the confession and a pen in hand. Proctor does not look at it. Come, man, sign it. Proctor, after glancing at the confession: You have all witnessed it. It is enough. You will not sign it? You have all witnessed it. What more is needed? Do you sport with me? Will you sign your name? Or it is no confession, mister. His breast heaving with agonized breathing, Proctor now lays the paper down and signs his name. Praise be to the Lord. Proctor has just finished signing when Danforth reaches for the paper, but Proctor snatches it up, and now a wild terror is rising in him and a boundless anger. Danforth is perplexed, but politely extending his hand. If you please, sir. No. Mr. Proctor, I must have... No, I have signed it. You have seen me. It is done. You have no need for this. Proctor, the village must have proof that... Damn the village! I confess to God, and God has seen my name on this. It is enough. No, sir, it is... You came to save my soul, did you not? Here, I have confessed myself. It is enough. You have not I have confessed myself. Is there no good penance but it be public? God does not need my name nailed upon the church. God sees my name. God knows how black my sins are. It is enough. Mr. Proctor, you will not use me. I am no Sarah Good or Tituba. I am John Proctor. You will not use me. It is no part of salvation that you should use me. I do not wish to. I have 3 children. How may I teach them to walk like men in the world? And I sold my friends? You have not sold your friends. Beguile me not. I blacken all of them when this is nailed to the church, the very day they hang for silence. Mr. Proctor, I must have good and legal proof that you are the high court. Your word is good enough. Tell them I confessed myself. Say Proctor broke his knees and wept like a woman. Say what you will, but my name cannot... It is the same, is it not, if I report it or you sign to it? He knows it is insane. No, it is not the same. What others say and what I sign to is not the same. Why? Do you mean to deny this confession when you are free? I mean to deny nothing. Then explain to me, Mr. Proctor, why you will not let. Because it is my name. Because I cannot have another in my life. Because I lie and sign myself to lies. Because I am not worth the dust on the feet of them that hang. How may I live without my name? I have given you my soul. Leave me my name. Danforth, pointing at the confession in Proctor's hand. Is that document a lie? If it is a lie, I will not accept it. What say you? I will not deal in lies, mister. You will give me your honest confession in my hand, or I cannot keep you from the rope. Which way do you go, mister? Proctor, his breast heaving, his eyes staring. Proctor tears the paper and crumples it, and he is weeping in fury, but erect. Marshal! Paris, hysterically, as though the tearing paper were his life. Proctor! Proctor! Man, you will hang. You cannot. Proctor, his eyes full of tears. I can. And there's your first moral that I can. You have made your magic now, for now I do think I see some shred of goodness in John Proctor. Not enough to weave a banner with, but white enough to keep it from such dogs. Elizabeth, in a burst of terror, rushes to him and weeps against his hand. Give them no tear. Tears pleasure them. Show honor now. Show a stony heart and sink them with it. He has lifted her and kisses her now with great passion. Let you fear nothing. Another judgment waits us all. Hang them high over the town. Who weeps for these weeps for corruption. Danforth sweeps out past them. Herrick starts to lead Rebecca, who almost collapses, but Proctor catches her, and she glances up at him apologetically. I've had no breakfast. Come, man. Herrick escorts them out, Hawthorne and Cheever behind them. Elizabeth stands staring at the empty doorway. Paris, in deadly fear, to Elizabeth. Go to him, Goody Proctor. There is yet time. From outside, a drum roll strikes the air. Paris is startled. Elizabeth jerks about toward the window. Go to him! He rushes out the door as though to hold back his fate. Proctor! Proctor! Again a short burst of drums. Woman! Plead with him! He starts to rush out the door and then goes back to her. Woman! It is pride! It is vanity! She avoids his eyes and moves to the window. He drops to his knees. Be his helper! What profit him to bleed? Shall the dust praise him? Shall the worms declare his truth? Go to him. Take his shame away. Elizabeth, supporting herself against collapse, grips the bars of the window, and with a cry, He have his goodness now. God forbid I take it from him. The final drum roll crashes and then heightens violently. Hale weeps in frantic prayer, and the new sun is pouring in upon her face, and the drums rattle like bones in the morning air. The curtain falls. Echoes down the corridor. Not long after the fever died, Paris was voted from office, walked out on the high road, and was never heard of again. The legend has it that Abigail turned up later as a prostitute in Boston. 20 years after the last execution, the government awarded compensation to the victims still living and to the families of the dead. However, it is evident that some people still were unwilling to admit their total guilt, and also that the factionalism was still alive, for some beneficiaries were actually not victims at all, but informers. Elizabeth Proctor married again 4 years after Proctor's death. In solemn meeting, the congregation rescinded the excommunications, this in March 1712, but they did so upon orders of the government. The jury, however, wrote a statement praying forgiveness of all who had suffered. Certain farms which had belonged to the victims were left to ruin, and for more than a century no one would buy them or live on them. To all intents and purposes, the power of theocracy in Massachusetts was broken.